Hello, thanks for tuning in, listening. Elle here. Just wanted to show up and check in and share some things and share my new hairdo also because this is my first time like recording and sharing without most of my hair. Cut off like I didn't realize even how long my hair was until it was gone, which is funny. You know, they say you don't know what you got till it's gone, and unfortunately that's a thing. Man, I haven't had hair this short in a very, very long time, and I just felt this like itch and this urge and this like I was like I need something new and I need a big change. And I just, once it got in my head, I was like I couldn't get it out. It's like I need to just get rid of my hair, most of it. And so I did, and I feel good. I feel lighter. I feel more free. My curls, you can see now a little bit more. My waves, it's fun. I just feel kind of like I can just shake my head around and like I don't. It's fun. It's good. I like it. So yeah, that's it's New Year, new me. Like they say. It's funny because there's like multiple New Years technically. There's like the Gregorian calendar New Year, which we just all stepped through together, and then you have like spring, which is technically like the vernal equinox, which is the another New Year. And then different cultures have different times that were allotted for like a new beginning. Really, if you think about it, technically spring would be a great time to start a new beginning because that's when life re-emerges after the cold darkness of winter. But every day can be New Year, really. Who's to say? We are not limited by calendar or seasons. We can make any moment what we want it to be. Okay, so remember that the time is now, the time is new, and it is a new moment. It is a newness. It is now. I gotta remind myself that. So I'm gonna remind you that. We're gonna remind each other. Let's all just remind each other that the presence is something to not take for granted and to be intentional and open-hearted, open-minded, connective to ourselves, to those around us and afar. We've got the collective consciousness. We've got this internet web here that we can access and connect with people from all over the world, maybe all over the universe even. Maybe there are people on here who are from different timelines. I don't know. Who knows really what this all is? I don't know. But I'm getting a little chilly, so I'm going to put my jacket on. But yeah, so life is strange and beautiful and a blessing, and it can be very stressful and intense. And also part of life is death, So we got life and death are dancing all the time, and sometimes it's not very, and I started saying that very lightly, sometimes it's not very fun. No, sometimes it is excruciating and tragic and terrible. And that's a full sentence right there. There's a part of me that wants to just be all positive and optimistic and like, yeah, no, but you can't. I could try to do that, but honestly, it's very frustrating for myself sometimes and anyone else when it's like, oh, it's going to be fine. It's like, that's the last thing anyone needs to hear when they're going through it. Like, when humans are going through tragedy, and there's so many things going on right now on this planet. We got part of the, America on fire. There's been a lot of people underwater, and we've got all these snowstorms and the ice and all of the elements and the things going on with the weather. And there's a lot happening. There's a lot going on this earth, in the physical realm, in the energetic, spiritual realms, in everybody's mind space, mental realms, emotionally. Like, there's just a lot going on everywhere. And I feel it's so important that to be able to confront these things and be of support and bring like healing and hope and like a goodness to the space. It's important to be like hopeful and intentional and positive, and also authentic, and to be able to sit with the discomfort, other people's discomfort and pain. Like, when there's tragedy, yes, we do what we can to make it better. And also, there's a lot of big feelings that come up that just need to be felt. We can't sugarcoat and overlook and bypass and gaslight ourselves out of trauma and intensity. And so that's just a reminder to just feel the feels and be honest about it. You know, I had someone say that like so much of what's on the internet and what people show up in this world is like curated on some level, where it's like made a certain way as to put off a certain image or idea. And you know, it's important to be intentional, and also it's most important to be authentic. And I feel like I've gotten to a point in how I show up in this world for the most part is that I don't have a whole lot of filter. I just say what I think and feel. I'm an open book. Like, I'm very honest. Speaking of an open book, I do actually have a book that I wrote called Love, and I literally am an open book. And that's funny. I put this here. I was like, maybe I'll read something from it, but I am an open book. You hold my heart and my head in your hands. And particularly with this book, I definitely, I am, this book is an extension of me, but over the years I've gotten better and been able to be more like how I am when I write and sit alone in the world, like through these videos, through my relationships and people, and like the honesty of showing up and being very open about what I'm going through, my past, my present, my desire, you know, all these things, which is really hard to do. And it's taken me a lot of time to be able to get to this point. And for most of my life before getting to this place where I can say that now, I had to access and find my voice through writing, through being alone, through finding who I am and why I am and who I want to be, through connecting with myself and going within, and writing this book is a big part of it. And I actually have another book too called L Words. So yeah, I poured, blood, sweat, and tears have gone into these books, and, you know, I haven't been marketing or really trying to sell the things that I've created because, maybe I haven't been ready. Maybe the world's not ready yet. I don't know. I think mostly, I have not. I think I've had people tell me, they're like, we need this. Like, you got to share this because people are needing your words. And I don't know what my deal is, but I mean, it's winter. I'm still in hermit mode to some degree, where I'm just not feeling really like energized to come out into the world in certain ways just yet. And I want it to be like, yeah, but it's been a work in progress, and it's always a work in progress. Like, I'm still working in progress. I'm progressively working on myself and how I show up in the world. And, yeah, so we're all works in progress, you know, we're all beautiful works in progress. And, yeah, like, we are the art, like, you are the art. You get to create art, you get to create and express through different mediums. Like, you have that ability. You know, your inner child might have been shut down or not nurtured in certain ways, or like your past self, you know, you might have been impacted in ways that told you like you can't do this, or you're just not good at this thing. But, you know, people don't just get good at something. They're not just born with something. Like, yes, there's certain people who are gifted with certain things, but it's a muscle that you stretch and you strengthen and you practice. So the most important thing too is that you're doing it for the fun of it. And like, yes, it can be frustrating when you're doing something and you're not good at it right away. But it's so rewarding when you work on something and you can feel that you've made progress and that you can do it better now. And yeah, and I think the biggest point is to enjoy things for just the pleasure of it. You know, it's like so much of life is people wanting, you know, like we feel like we need to monetize everything, which, because like time is valuable, and we're all kind of, I shouldn't say we're all, but a lot of us are scraping by or in survival mode where we're just trying to get by. So like, how can I make money off of things that to just make money? You know, money is at the forefront of the mind, right? But you know, if we're not taking care of other parts of ourselves, which are like, you know, that inner child that just wants to create and explore and express and, you know, ask questions and connect with people in authentic ways, you know, that's going to impact other areas of our life. And also, you know, there are so many possibilities and opportunities in this world where if you're in a job you don't like, you don't have to be doing it. Like, there are other options. There's so many options. And yes, we are limited and restricted in ways too. Like, we can't deny that, like, there is limitations and restrictions, and like on our minds, on our bodies, on our I don't think our soul is restricted. We end up putting those restrictions on our own spirit, but our spirit is the thing that is Like that's beyond all of the different layers. And attuning to that place within yourself and others, the heart, the soul, the spirit, your energy body, like that's the core underneath like our physical body, all of it, like all the layers, you get down to the root of it, and it's energy. It's pure energy. And so the more that we can access that place, go within ourselves, connect to ourselves as an energetic being, as a spirit, and nurture, and then, we're a spirit that was born into a body. We were a baby, we were a child, we were impacted by so many things from a young age that were not fair, that were traumatic, that were, that imprinted onto us, that programmed us with things that were just made it hard for us to just feel safe and free and okay to be ourselves. And we're dealing with the implications of that for our whole adult life until we do that inner work and we go within and we unpack and we organize and we decide to get rid of certain things and, pack other things away. And, it's like, what am I going to pass down to my kids? Like, am I going to leave this giant mess? Or not even just the kids, if you don't have kids, but to the future. Like, maybe not even someone's going to have to come and clean up the mess afterwards, in a sense. If we don't get our shit together, it's going to be someone else's problem. And that will reflect in the present moment with our relationships. If we can't figure this shit out, it's going to impact others. It's going to impact how we connect with people. It's going to impact everything. So it is a responsibility to go within and hold ourselves responsible and accountable, and also have forgiveness for ourselves, because so much of who we are and why we are is not our fault. Like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. We were born into some really fucked up circumstances, and we're still living through some really fucked up circumstances. And like, it's just that there's a collective trauma, and we all deserve grace and patience and forgiveness, because especially the people who are, that you wouldn't want to give it to the most, right? Because they're acting in irate ways that are hurtful, but those people are so wounded inside. And it's not excusing the behavior. It's not, but it's having empathy and understanding, and like, how, and then I get kind of overwhelmed. I'm like, well, how do we help these situations? Like, what is the solutions to these bigger problems? It starts within. It's within the individual. And also, humans need community. We should be living in villages and having multiple forms of connection and with different people in different ways. And we've been so isolated into these little micro worlds without, it's in the micro worlds, or if you have a solid, good little micro environment where there's different moving parts that are working together, that's wonderful. But we can even be limited to that little bubble sphere that we're in, but there's so much out there. Like, the more diverse the microbiome, the better. Like, we want diversity, we need different people with different walks of life. But when you stay in the same little place, you're just limited to that. And but you're not, though. You have choices every day with how you spend in time your energy, where you can just step out into the world, wear a silly hat, talk to the random person in the grocery store. Like, I don't know, like, every little moment is a big moment, or it could be a big moment, of how you choose to show up and share yourself and connect. We have the internet here, which is a wonderful tool to put ourselves out there, to practice doing that in our own safe space, because that's what it's taken for me. Is I love the feeling of being alone and in my safe bubble, and I also love being out around other humans. I've been able to strengthen this muscle of being able to use my voice and show up and share myself in the comfort and safety of my bubble, which ends up outreaching into other bubbles. Ideally, I do that in person too, as much as I can. That's just how I live. I just want to like connect and just make a moment a little more uplifted or real, or just be honest, and just, get people's gears turning or make them feel something. And it's not like you can't make someone feel something, but just, I feel so many people are so numb and so guarded and disconnected. And it takes someone else sometimes, like, poking at you or pulling you out of your own head and being like, hey, like, play with me. Like, and it's that inner child, and that's the inner child within me that just wants to play. And obviously, also, we have work we have to do, and I'm an adult, and I'm a mother, and I have 2 children, so I have responsibilities, and I can't just play all the time. But as much as I can play within my work and within my waking life, in my dreaming life too, you know, why not? Yeah, play is important. And yeah, honesty and breathing and hydration. Oh, my little light thing just died. Oh, or that's not died. I just pressed the button. Okay. Yeah, so breathing, self-care, like nourishing the self, unpacking the things, writing, journaling is so good. And being open to other people and their experience and their wisdom and shoot, dang, I guess it's just probably time. I do need to. I need to go eat some food. I'm very hungry, and I need to get my day moving forward. Gonna go out on a winter walk in the snow. It's beautiful. I love snow. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that, and maybe it'll turn on for a little bit. That makes such a big difference. Light is life. Okay, light, inner light, outer light, life, intention, getting outside, the sun, the elements, having respect and honor for the elements because they are very powerful, and they just respect and honor for self and other, for this planet, for the collective consciousness, for growth and evolution, development, trust and faith in humanity, and choosing what you believe in and what you value, and holding on to those values at your heart and showing up with that on your sleeve. And and as much as it's finding safety in the body and living in love instead of fear, and being aware of the fears and being attuned to your fears. Like, we do need to be aware of these things, but to not act out of them, to sit with the fear and discomfort, to sit with whatever it is, and find, just to listen to the body, listen to your feelings and move through them, and just really listen and let it be, and trust yourself. That's a lesson for me, is really trusting myself. But yeah, I'm gonna come on here some other time and do some readings from my books. But I have a link tree that has my information with my website. I have an Amazon link for my first book. My second one's not out yet. So I'm all over the social medias, and I'm here, and I just really like when that light's on so much better. It just looks better, and you can see me. It's good to see things. Okay, cool. Well, I hope you have a peaceful flow forward and feel your feels. And one more time. Okay. All right. Take care. Love you. Bye.